I think my favorite teaching of the Council is about full, active, and conscious participation. That mode of participating fully, actively, and consciously was not just something that was defined for liturgical celebrations, but for the way in which laity were to be engaged in the church. That they were no longer to be passive participants in this reality that we call the church. They were called to be full, active, and conscious participants. And I think the model of Vatican II not only changed the way in which the priest presided by facing the people around a table, but also really changed the model of priesthood from one which was more of a cultic leader to one which was a servant leader. And I think the Second Vatican Council really made an effort, instead of resisting a world which was increasingly diverse, was how do we integrate our beliefs and who we are and who we're called to be by the gospel with the realities of the world. Seeing the world not always as an enemy, but recognizing the goodness of the world. It really was a Salesian moment in terms of the optimism that the Council viewed and spoke of the world. So the work of establishing the kingdom of God was really made possible by a view of the world which was not as a fortress trying to keep the world out, but as opening the doors of the church so that the church could go and minister to the world in all of its forms. And of course, that's the foundation of social justice, to see the good in the world, but also to act and to work to make that goodness grow by reaching out to those who are on the margins in whatever category of humanity we may have placed them in. Certainly that's not the way in which God sees the world. The spirit of the Council will continue to live on because it established a vision of the church in which all members are full, active, and conscious participants. But I think this is still part of the model that we're struggling to implement. Well, what does it mean to be a church in which everyone is full, active, and conscious in terms of their participation? But the hope that I have is the vision that was set out was so bold that it's never really going to be able to be retracted. Whether that retraction is a conscious effort or whether that one is simply just the way human beings kind of recede to what they're most comfortable with, I think that once the vision is out there and it's been established, it really is of the Spirit. A council that literally changed forever the course of the church and even the course of the world, especially in the way that Catholics look at the world. How could you look at that as anything but the work of the Spirit?